Hello? Oh, come on, man. What the hell's going on? I have no idea what's going on here right now. Something's missing. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Please, if you can hear me, if you can hear me, please let me know. That's crazy. All right, chat. Chat is up. Hello, Carolyn Greg's Ledger. Please tell me that you can hear me. Hey, Logan Calcaterra, how you doing? Happy New Year, everybody. I am so glad that everybody is here today. I hope that my technical difficulties have resolved themselves. And hello and happy New Year. Greatly appreciate it. Hey, Carolyn, how you doing? Thank you very much. Congratulations to Logan Calcaterra for winning the gold medal in the Mickey Olympic chat. And congratulations to Carolyn. Greg's, you say Ledger. Carolyn Greg's Dooley. That is awesome. Congratulations on the name change. She got that last year. I didn't properly announce it, but I just want to let you know Carolyn's been a long time listener and a long time activist. And I just want to let you know I greatly appreciate her and everybody that tunes in on a regular basis. Now, what are we talking about today? Well, let me do the regular start to the intro to the show, and then we will get to that. All right. So, well, without further ado, it's We the People of the United States Constitution time. Greatest document ever written. There are currently 8,268,000,000 people in the United States of America, and our national debt is $38 trillion. Is that crazy or what? That's obscene, is what it is. It's obscene that we're $38 trillion in debt. So, all right, let me get that out of my face. So we go back to the Constitution. So I got it. So, Happy New Year's, everybody. I'm sorry that the way that Christmas fell on the Wednesdays and Thursdays with the Christmas Eve and the New Year's Eve, I didn't do shows for the last couple of weeks, but now we are back. We are full of vim and vigor. I don't know what vim is, but I do know what vigor is. Their V words are some of my favorite words in the English language. There's veracity, there's virility, there's vigor. Anyway, I just like all the V words that are out there. So, just want to let you know that I didn't have a show for today because I've been playing pickleball all day. I got my behind handed to me in pickleball this morning at Game Time at the Grounds in Cabot, Arkansas. There was like probably 30 people that showed up in a brand new league that started. I haven't been playing a lot of pickleball lately because I've started 2 new businesses. I'll tell you about those businesses here in just a second. And the next thing is I worked my business through the day, and then I went back to Game Time in the Grounds and played pickleball in another league. I'm sorry, there's not tournaments, there are leagues. I played in the league this morning, leagues at tonight at 6:00, and I got whooped again. So I've got to up my pickleball skill set. It's not good. So, all right. So I hope you are doing well. This year is going to be a very crazy year because you want to know why? Because it's starting off crazy. So the first thing that your government did this year was go in, snatch and grab a dictator from another country. Is that some of the craziest stuff? Is that the way you start? You're supposed to start off a new year as a world superpower. It's arguable. It's arguable that we are the only world superpower left, but we know that China and Russia are still out there lurking, and they're trying to get their mitts into Venezuela. And we ended up getting Maduro. So I'm going to talk about that in just a second because I think that's of critical importance to the conversation we need to have about our government and the powers that our government has. And then there was a couple of other things, right? So there was a shooting today in Minnesota that involved ICE. And I've got some questions that I want to talk about that. But let me tell you what I've been up to. All right. So had a great Christmas. I went up to Fayetteville, spent Christmas with my daughter up there in Fayetteville and with her husband and her husband's family. It was great. I just want to say thank you very much to Jamie and Lisa for being such gracious people and allowing me to come up there and hang out with the entire family. I felt warm and welcome and fuzzy all over. And being a prickly son of a bitch that I am, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that everybody wrapped me in their loving arms for Christmas. Because although I am a loner, I try to do well in social situations, and Christmas was great. And I hope that you had a great Christmas too. Christmas looks different for everybody across the planet, right? We do Christmas different when I was a kid than we do right now. My family members do Christmas differently, but it's about a holiday season as well. So it's not just about Christmas anymore. Christmas is spread to holiday seasons for many other people. The Jewish people are celebrating Hanukkah, and it brings a lot of joy. The reason I bring that up is there are a lot of great moods that we have at Christmas time that I wish we could carry out throughout the year, right? So there's a lot of forgiveness in the air. There's a lot of hope in the air. There's a lot of giving. There's a lot of goodwill to all men. And that is important. So I had a good one, and it was absolutely fantastic. But during that entire time, I was also working. So when I was working, I'm working on two things. Number one, the Poker Run Network. I'm going to tell you about that. So the Poker Run Network is a new app that I developed. That's it right there. Oh, you can't see it right there. So anyway, it's a Poker Run app. I'm developing this. That's what it looks like when it's all set. Man, how come the colors on that are not showing up? Anyway, it's a brand new app for businesses where they can play a game called Poker Run, and which is I didn't make up the game, but I digitized it, and I'm going to offer that to places like golf courses, hotels, entertainment venues, event planners, so that they can offer another entertainment alternative to the people that come to them for their businesses, whether it's at a golf course during a tournament, whether it is at a convention and people are looking for something to do, whether it's at sporting events, cruise lines. It's going to be a great business. Second thing is this right here is Flick Killer. Yeah. So Flick Killer, and it's a brand new board game. It's Kill or Be Killed. 4 people can play it. It's supposed to be. It was designed for 4 people to play. It's a great game. I've decided that I'm going to actually do that as a business, and when that gets going, I will let everybody know. So, what else is going on in the world? In the dead of the night, President Trump sent our troops in to Venezuela to snatch Maduro, who was the president of a country. Now, this is not unprecedented. Now, I have to remind everybody that back in the 1980s, the United States military went after Manuel Noriega, and a bunch of my friends went down there and participated in that op, and then they snatched him up, and it was a really long and drawn out. We had a lot of boots on the ground. Now, the difference is that in Panama, we actually had a military base called Howard Air Force Base. And Howard was a United States president. So we already had boots on the ground in Panama. And Noriega was doing some really, really bad stuff, being drug lords, right? He was doing a lot of bad stuff that would be considered evil by anybody else's standards. But he was the president of the country. And I believe that he was duly elected, but he was also a criminal. He ran a criminal enterprise. So back in 1988, I think it was 1988, the United States said, hey, we've had enough of your crap. We're going to go after you. So they went after Noriega. There was a big standoff because he got himself in his safe room. We learned a lot of lessons from that about going in. So we sent entire airplane loads of C-130s. We spent a lot of special operations forces. We took down not only the city and the compound, but it was a really long and drawn out process by the time we got Noriega. And then a bunch of friends of mine in the MC special operations community, once they got him extracted from the house, they extracted him from the country, they flew him back to the United States of America. So Big salute to everybody that did that. Why is that important? Well, it's important because this is our hemisphere, and the United States is the big dog in the hemisphere. And we have our national interest to protect. But does that give us the right? Let's say that we don't believe that the Canadian Prime Minister is doing right, or the King of England, right? So England, I think England still owns Canada, and England owns Australia, right? So if Australia wasn't doing right or Canada wasn't doing right, can we go and get King Charles if we think that King Charles is messing up? Well, I don't know about that, but I do know that Maduro, from all reports, is a very, very bad man and may or may not be the legitimately elected leader of Venezuela. He says he is, but all I know is that has been disputed on multiple occasions on multiple counts, and everywhere that you read says he is not the legitimate leader. However, if you have enough guns, enough money, and enough power, you can be in charge of whatever you want to be in charge of. Do you want to know why? Because that's the way the world has worked since human beings were invented. So when human beings came down to this planet, the person that was the biggest and the baddest and the most violent ran the world. It didn't matter how smart they were. It just mattered how violent they were and how far they were willing to push and kill and manipulate people in order to get them to do what they wanted to do. That's the way that Putin is holding on to Russia. Putin intimidates and kills everybody that does not agree with Putin. And that's why Putin's in charge of Russia. Think about Cuba. So Fidel Castro went in there, overthrew the government, and before anybody knew it, he was like, hey, man, we're communists now. Congratulations. Everything I do is going to be for the people. Well, then he took out all of the economic incentives to be in Cuba because he ruled with an iron fist. If you didn't like him, he threw you in jail or he would just kill you. And now that went on to the next generation and then the next generation. So now we're 3 generations in after Castro and they're still running. So they don't have any new cars there. You want to know why? Nobody wants to get a new car. Nobody's incentivized to do that because everybody's supposed to be equal, except the people that aren't equal. The people that aren't equal are the people that run the country. Why would they want everybody to be equal with them? This is a problem with socialism. So the problem with socialism is whoever is the biggest, the baddest, the strongest, the most violent gets to run the place. That's why the people of Venezuela didn't have a choice with what Maduro did. They didn't have a vote. All of these people that are in the United States that go, socialism is good. No, socialism is not good because eventually somebody has to run the fucking place. And that's not going to be you dumb asses. What makes you think you wouldn't want your neighbor to run your life? Why would you want anybody in the government to run your life? Well, it would be fairer if we all had a vote. You do all have a vote now in a representative constitutional republic in the United States of America. At least you got a chance of somebody hearing you. You can vote out the next person. You can vote out the person that's in there now and get somebody new in. You can even run and you can be part of the process. But in socialism, it doesn't. It all boils down to whoever gets in charge now runs the damn place forever and ever and ever and ever. Look at China. Do you think that the dude that's in charge of China is ever going to give up power? No. Do you think the person that's in charge of Russia is ever going to give up power? No. Cuba? No. Venezuela? No. Oh, wait a minute. Not unless somebody goes in there and is more violent than the person that was there. And we were violent. Brought 150 airplanes, had good armament, good suppression, had good electronic warfare. We shut down all of their systems. We blinded them. We cut off their electricity. We went in the dead of night. Next thing you know, Maduro is stuffed and cuffed and on his way back to the United States of America. Why? Because we chose to be more violent than he was willing to be. He could have got guns and he could have held up in a room and he could have been as violent as he wanted, throwing hand grenades and everything like that. And after he got run out of ammo, we'd have gone in there and got him anyway. We could have just killed him with a missile, but we didn't. We're like, hey, come on up here. You're going to get tried. Meanwhile, we're going to negotiate with the people that are down there in Venezuela, and we're going to see if we can get them to do better than you have done, because we know that you're an international drug lord and you're a bad human being and you're not good for this. Now, I'm not going to get into the legalities of whether we should or whether we shouldn't. It's done. It's done. Somebody made a decision to go. Now, is it legal? I think so. I think the president of the United States can decide who is an immediate threat and doesn't have to ask anybody. So if he says that, hey, Maduro is an immediate threat to the United States of America and the citizens of the United States of America, we're going to go and blow up these drug boats. I think that that's legal. I think that we can do that, actually. I don't like it. I do not like it, but we can do that. I don't like the fact that he can go, hey, look here, Maduro's a threat to the United States of America, and go after him. You got to remember, this isn't a boots on the ground operation. We don't have people that are in Venezuela right now hanging out, being all that in a bag of chips. We just went in there and got Maduro, and then we left. And we're like, hey, look here, we're going to run the country from up here. You're going to pay us back for all the oil. You're going to pay us back for all of the infrastructure that we provided you in the 70s, 80s, and 90s that you then stole from American companies before you kicked them out. There's great video of Maduro running through going, hey, see this building right here? See this? We're claiming that for the government. See these oil wells? We're claiming them for the government. We're going to claim all these for the people. The people didn't get any of that shit. And the people that were running all those countries or all those companies, when the people that were running the companies left, what happened to the companies? They collapsed and folded. That's why Venezuela didn't have any oil. It has all the oil but can't pump it, because they got rid of all the people that knew how to pump the oil. And then they kicked out all the Americans who were doing that for them. And Venezuela was making a killing off of American companies coming in there and getting their oil out of the ground. Venezuela was killing it. But then they were like, oh, no. We don't want part of it. We want the whole 9 yards. We're going to kick the Americans out. Well, that's what happens with socialism. What happens with socialism is the government takes over everything, and then they kick out all the people that know what the hell they're doing. And then who's going to run the government? Or who's going to run all the businesses? The government. Well, the government doesn't know how to do what businesses do. This is why Venezuela is so important, because the government can't run businesses because they don't have the expertise, and the people that do have the expertise don't want to work for the government because they're not going to get paid what they're worth, and they're not going to get what they are due. So they just choose not to do it. And when they choose not to do it, then all of those industries fail. So I'm not going to say whether it was legal to go after Maduro or not, but what I do know is he just gave the people of Venezuela an opportunity to get back to a representative government and get back to a capitalist type of a system where they can have free trade and they can not have to worry about black markets, and they can start their own businesses, and they can get the expertise back in all of the industries. So it can literally, the past 20 years just destroyed Venezuela. Hopefully, now that Maduro's gone, the next 20 years will be a completely rebuilding of Venezuela. Because if you can completely rebuild Venezuela, you can stabilize the entire uh, South America, south of Panama, because that's so where Venezuela sits. It's kind of like right next to the heart of the Caribbean, right? So if you go south of there, it's too far to get to the United States. If you go north of there, it's the gateway to the Gulf of Mexico and to everything that's north of the equator. It's absolutely crazy the value of Venezuela and the minerals that they have. And they have just been handed the opportunity, and I pray that the most violent people in Venezuela don't make a move to take it over and they change from their communistic socialist ways and get back to something that is common sense and economically sound practices. That's what I hope. So, with that being said, uh, let's talk about uh, what happened in Minneapolis or in Minnesota. I don't even know what city it was. So, a lot of people blew up my phone with messages saying, "How can you support this?" And I'm like, "I'm not supporting shit. I have not said anything about ICE agents. I have said that bad people need to be kicked out of the country. But I am going to start making comments about it. Here's what the deal is. The United States of America is a sovereign country. We have citizens. Our citizens need to be number one on our government's priority list. Period. Dot. Stop. No questions about it. The government only exists to take care of its citizens and provide security. It provides a framework for society to live. So, government has a legislative branch that's going to make the rules of society. They have a judicial branch which says, hey, what is fair and what is just and what is an equal balance as seen in the eyes of the law so that everybody is treated equally. And then the other thing that they do is they run the government, right? So that's the three branches. So the executive runs the government and runs all the organizations. The legislative branch makes all the rules because that's a representative democracy of the people that got elected. That's why those people make the rules, because the people elect all of those people that are in the legislature, so they can make rules, they can eliminate rules. They're the rule people. And then the third branch is going to be the judicial branch, right? So the reason why I bring that up is when we start looking at our government's job is to provide a framework for society. That's it, right? So the framework, they're not supposed to get involved with playing favorites, right? So the framework for society is, hey, look here, all people in society need streets. All people in society need electricity. All people in society need their trash picked up. All people in society need to have clean air so that they can breathe and not die. We need to have some type of safety protocols to make sure that privacy is secured and that somebody else doesn't endanger somebody else. And then finally, security. Why is the security important? Because security says that you are going to, according to the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution of the United States, that you're going to be secure in all your stuff and that you have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So they're supposed to protect your life and they're supposed to protect your liberty and they're supposed to protect your happiness. That's why the Constitution of the United States is so doggone important. It says it right up in here. You know, we the people of the United States, in order to ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare to us and our posterity, do ordain and establish Constitution of the United States of America. That's very, very important. And the reason why that is so important is because when the government starts operating to make sure that we're secure, they've got to do certain things to make sure that we're secure. They have to arrest criminals. They have to make the call on that. The people can't make the call. I'm not supposed to walk around and ask people whether they are from the United States or not. I'm not supposed to ask whether they have a valid driver's license. I'm not supposed to ask whether they're breaking the law. I'm not supposed to be the one that apprehends people that have just committed a crime. That's why we have sheriff's departments and police departments. That's why we have bureaus of investigations of each of the states, state police. That's why we have the FBI, the CIA, the DEA, the NEA. That's why we have those organizations. Their job is to make determinations about the people that are here and whether they are a threat to the United States of America or not. And the problem with that is somebody decided that they were going to become the police of the police. Now, police need policing. I'm not saying that police don't need policing. I am saying that the average citizen should not be involved with that process. If the average citizen is not happy, their venue to get this adjudicated is to go to their legislators or go to their executive branch or engage the judicial department, right? Their job is not to get involved in the street stuff. If you see a cop running after somebody down the street, are you supposed to get the hell out of the way and let the cop do his job? Or are you supposed to stop the cop and question the cop about why he's chasing the person down the street? If you're in my neighborhood and you get in the way of a cop, the cop is going to basically arrest you for interfering with the duties of a police officer. But we can't have all 347 million of us questioning the actions of all of the cops while they're on the street doing their fucking job. Your job, if you want to document that from across the street and report them to the legislative branch, the executive branch, or the judicial branch, and then you go and do that. And you go, hey, look here, I believe that they are breaking the law and that they need to be held to account. That's why we have systems in place. The people that are interfering with police and ICE and DEA or whoever the hell else out there, why in the hell are they there? Why are they there? I don't understand why these people believe that they have their arrogance. Here's what I wrote down. The shooting in Minnesota. Why was she there? The arrogance of the American people is amazing. I'm glad that we're arrogant, and I'm glad that we feel we can take action. But that person's never been punched in the mouth. She's never suffered. Apparently, she's a poet. She won a poetry competition. What's a poet going up there and opposing ICE and stopping ICE from doing their job? What if ICE was arresting somebody that had just murdered somebody or was a rapist? They're like, oh no, all those, they don't know, right? If they're protecting somebody, right? Let's say that you're an American citizen and you are protecting somebody that is an illegal immigrant in the United States of America. I don't know whether that's legal or not, but it does not appear that the people that are showing up and stopping ICE and the DEA agents from doing their job, when they show up, they're actually interfering, which is against the law as established by the legislative branch, and the executive branch is supposed to take action on that, and they're supposed to take them to the judicial branch so that the judicial branch can make a determination whether it's legal or illegal. And if there's any question, then it gets appealed up to the highest court in the land, which is the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court will make the decision. Why do people get involved in the street? I would never have the audacity to step in front of a vehicle of the police. That's crazy to me. All right. Mark said, when the mayor says, fuck ICE, he's saying, F America, this is insurrection, and he's a traitor. Thank you very much for the comment, Mark. I greatly appreciate that. Here's the deal. This is supposed to be adjudicated in a court of law. That's what I got to say about it. The person that got shot, what did she think was going to happen? You know what she thought was going to happen? Nothing. She thought she could go and do whatever the hell she wanted to and would have to suffer no consequences. And if she did have to suffer some consequences, then she would have to be going to jail, and then somebody would come and bail her out. That's what literally, that's what she probably thought. I feel sorry for the lady. I feel sorry for that. All of the people that show up for these protests and stuff, I feel sorry for them. They're that stupid. They're literally that stupid. They've been manipulated to believe that they have agency in these matters. And what they're doing, nobody has ever gone to one of these things and the ICE or the DEA or the cops went, oh, you know what? You're protesting. You're right. We're not going to arrest these people. We're just going to let these people go and we're going to walk off. Has that ever happened? No, it hasn't happened. And it's not going to happen. You want to know why? Because the cops got a job to do. And when you show up, all you're doing is making the situation worse for everybody. You want to help the people that are being arrested? Go and help them with their defense and get lawyers from them. Get lawyers for them. Start a GoFundMe for them. Help them file their paperwork to get back into the country. Save their jobs for them. Help get them where they're going and help them get reestablished in their country of home origin. Showing up and pissing off the cops and pissing off ICE, it does nobody any good, and then shit like this happens. I feel sorry for the lady. I feel sorry for her family. I feel sorry for her friends. But how in the fuck can you let her go do stupid shit like this? How can you let her do stupid shit like this? To get nothing out of it. She risks everything, including her life, and she gets nothing out of it. Oh, she gets a warm, fuzzy feeling because she helped somebody. You know what a warm, fuzzy feeling gets you in the end? Nothing. Tomorrow, it does you no good. It's not going to get you into heaven. That's not how you get into heaven. God, I bet that lady was awesome. I bet she was an absolutely wonderful person. This is a damn shame that she showed up and the circumstances happened. It's terrible. Then Mark says, the person who was shot was trying to kill the agents performing their duty as law enforcement officers. She got what she deserved. Hey, I don't think that she intentionally thought that she was going to run over an ICE officer. I don't believe that. Situation might have turned out that she was under stress and she understood that she got in way over her head, and then she decided to panic. You know what panic is like. You've seen people panic before. Then all of a sudden she realizes that, hey, man, she stepped in it. She panics. She hits the accelerator. There's a cop standing right in front of her, and the cop draws his gun and pulls the trigger before she knows what happened. I don't believe that she ever had intent to run over somebody, but when she panicked, she hit the accelerator, and that person who was in front of her car was not meant to be there. I don't think that people go there with the intention of hurting people. What I think is they want to be disruptors. And I think they want to go, hey, look how virtuous I am. I'm showing up and I'm helping all these people because ICE is here and everybody hates ICE. So I'm going to go do the good bandwagon thing. Then they get in over their head, and it's like being in a pond or a lake or an ocean where you can't touch the ground anymore. You panic, and when you panic, you drown. That's what happened to that lady. Sad. It's terrible. So pray for her family, pray that this doesn't happen again. Pray for the agent that shot her, because that person is going to have to deal with this for the rest of their life. And you can put it in any way that you want to. My question is why are people interfering with the police of the ICE agent when you don't know what the ICE agent's doing? You don't know what the cops are doing. You don't know what DEA is doing. You don't know what the FBI is doing. You don't know what the CIA is doing. You don't know what any of these agencies are doing. You're just sticking your nose in where it doesn't belong. And then when shit like this happens, you want to go, I don't know what happened. You know what happened. You went up there and you fucking around. And then you found out. Now you want to go, I don't know what happened. Shut up, man. God, wish this didn't happen. But hey, we got Maduro. And it's a new year, and the stock market is going crazy, and oil is up, and everything. I took all my money out. I always take my money out of the stock market at the beginning of December, and I leave it out until the end of January because I always know that shit happens in January. But good luck if you left your money in there. That's awesome. So anyway, hey, look, that's going to be Mickey in the middle of our night. Hey, this is our first show of 2026. I just want to say thanks a lot for tuning in. I had a good time. I hope you had a good time. Thank you very much for your comments. Greatly appreciate it. Remember, Mickey in the middle of the week, Wednesday night on most Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Central, wherever I am, and whatever that translates into wherever you guys are. So you guys have a great one. I'll talk to you later, and I'll see you next week, and good luck. God bless, and God bless the United States of America. Amen.